Thanks for tuning in to the Real Women Chronicles podcast. I am your international certified life coach, Tiadra Taylor. The sole purpose of this podcast is to get you from where you are now to where you want to be. Yes, it's time to break chains and to get unstuck. Thanks again for joining in. Let's begin. Hello. Thank you guys for joining me yet again another week of the Real Women Chronicles podcast. If you don't know, let me introduce myself. I am certified life and relationship coach. I go by the name of Coach T, y'all. So if you have been following my podcast over the course of the last 3 podcast episodes, I've been talking about the stages of a breakup. Okay. And as I closed on the stage 3 of a breakup last week, I felt it important for us to talk about dating tips. Okay. So this week, this is what this podcast is going to be about: the fun side of overcoming that last relationship, the fun side about moving on and meeting someone new and just learning yourself through dating experiences. Because, I would love to promise you that once you get back out there and dating and start dating, the very first person you start dating is like your end all be all and you live happily ever after. For some, that does work and it's a beautiful thing. But for some of us, you may have to, kiss a few frogs before you find your prince, but that's okay. That is okay. But as you are going into your season of dating and during your season of singleness, I just want to give you some tips. I have roughly about 10 tips that I found to be very helpful in my personal life when I was dating. And also, I just find it to be just almost universal to most women as we're out there dating, and men as well as we're out there dating. There's some things that we really need to concentrate on. So I've entitled this podcast Dating 101, because these are some core things that you really need to pay attention to or implement in your, in your personality or in your strategy when it comes to dating, because I definitely believe that there is a little bit of strategy when it comes to dating. Of course, be yourself, 100% be yourself, but also understand yourself, understand the situation, and understand how to move so that you don't move too, hastily and you don't move too fast and you don't repeat that choosing of the wrong mate like you did in that last relationship for many of you who are coming out of a breakup. Okay. So that being said, as I said, I have about a good 10 tips. So before I jump into Dating 101, again, if you guys are going through a breakup, be sure to order the Breakup to Breakthrough Journal. It is available on my website, therwcpodcast.com. Okay, Dating 101. The first rule, remember this: mystery loves company. Take heed to what I just said. I didn't say misery. I said mystery loves company. Let me elaborate on what I mean by that. Sometimes it's easy to start dating a person, and it's easy for us to start divulging too much information too early. One thing I can tell you about a woman is her ability to keep a sense of mystery about her can be very attractive. And because it leaves a man wanting to know more about you. You're not an open book. You're not telling him the first date or the first few dates about everything that's happened to you from the age of 2 years old up until now. You're making him ask probing questions, and you're giving him the information that he needs to know. Let me tell you one thing that I've personally learned. Sometimes when we give out too much information too early, we can sometimes even regret it. Because here's the thing: if you give out too much information, there's nothing left for him to learn about you. He'll feel like he already has a pretty good idea of who he's dealing with early on. So the excitement of the mystery of the girl who he approached, who he didn't know. All he knew was her physical characteristics is now gone. And it's like, okay, I know her physical characteristics. I know her personality. I know what makes her tick. I know what makes her angry. I know what happened in her last 15 relationships. I know all this in one date. Mystery loves company. A man loves to be in the company of a mystery woman, a mysterious woman. And I can attest for that 100%. Keep that mystery about you. Do not divulge too much information to someone that you don't know. And worst case scenario, this person could use some of that information against you, or they could tailor how they deal with you because you've divulged so much information and you've told them what the last 15 people did wrong, that they've learned how to get close to you by being something that they're not, because you basically told them what you didn't like. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't tell a person what you don't like, but don't give them the ability to pretend to be something they're not just to get in your good graces, or even worse, to get in your pants. And then all of a sudden you realize that they're not the person that they pretended to be, but kind of you gave them the hand that was dealt to you. You gave them the tools to tell you what you wanted to hear because they knew what you wanted to hear. And the only reason why they know what you want to hear is because you divulge too much too early. So keep that mystery about you. Number 2, remember, anything he gets easy, he won't appreciate. I've said that in many, many, many podcasts before, and I'm going to say it again. Keep your legs closed. I'm not one of those individuals that's going to sit here and say, okay, there's a 90-day rule, there's a 60-day rule. But there sure enough needs to be a long enough time for you to see different moods in this man. And I'm going to be honest. Most men aren't showing different moods in a month or two. Okay? Honestly, by the time you get to that 3 to 4 month, rodeo, you may see him go through some different moods, because by this time, if he is only after you for one thing, you're going to see a different man start to hit to the forefront eventually, because he's going to start getting frustrated because he wants something out of you and you're holding out. Not only that, it's not only the fact that if you give him yourself, right? Early on, you're giving him all of you, telling him all of your stories and lifelong, roads that you've traveled prematurely, and you give him your body. On top of that, there's nothing left to know about you. And this is why a lot of men lose interest after you have intercourse with them, because they've learned what it took to get you. And if you gave it to them that easy, most of them will feel like you will give it to the next man that easy. I'm raising a man. I've raised a man, and I talk to men all the time about this very topic. I have a 23-year-old son, and even he will tell you, if he is able to play sports fish and get a woman too early, he's not going to appreciate her long term. And it's just fact. And I'm not saying that some of you out there maybe didn't have a one-night stand that ended up in a relationship. It happens. But more than anything, this rule is not so much about what he is willing to appreciate. It's just me telling you to appreciate yourself, to understand that you are of value, and to sleep with a man too early and not know his spirit, not know the energies and the sexual transmitted diseases, spiritual, sexual too, but spiritual transmitted diseases that this man is carrying, and you're willing to expose your spirit to him too early. That's detrimental. He could be carrying the spirit of insecurity, the spirit of low self-esteem, the spirit of suicide, and you don't know because you gave it up so easy. Learn him first. Appreciate you first, and then he too will appreciate you. Okay? Number 3, understand that we all come with flaws. I know whenever we're out there dating, it's easy to immediately start looking for what's wrong with this person. Okay, what's wrong? Okay, this is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. Keep in mind that you have flaws too. Okay? I'm not saying to, just throw out all the major flaws. I mean, we all should have deal breakers when it comes to dating. We all should have standards, and we all should really adhere to those standards. But understand, give people a little leeway. We all have flaws. Okay? Number 4, I would say, that's number 4. I would say don't ignore your instinct, though, or major red flags. Okay, so even though this person is coming with flaws, as you're dating, this is the time to pay attention to those God-given red flags. And I always say God-given because he really is the one who speaks to our intuition. So it's important for us not to ignore that. It's important for us to really, really hone in on what the Spirit is telling us and pay attention to those red flags, and don't try to turn those red flags into orange or green flags. Pay attention to them so that you can truly move in a healthy way and know what you're getting into before you dive in head first. Okay. Number 5, remember, you are as attractive as you think you are. Do not go into a dating situation pointing out your own flaws. And what I mean by that, oh, hey, how you doing? Oh, you look beautiful. Oh, you know what? My hair is not done, or this nail isn't done. Like women, we have a problem pointing out our own flaws. Men, half of the time, don't even notice that one of your legs are shorter than the other until you actually tell them. Okay, so do not go pointing out your own flaws. You are as attractive as you think you are. I have seen women of all calibers, all shades, all sizes attract the men that they wanted. Know why? Because they believed that they could. It's all about manifestation on this podcast. Y'all should already know that by now. If you believe it, you can achieve it. If you believe yourself to be attractive, you can force everybody around you really to see that attractiveness in you. It doesn't mean that they want to wife you up or they want to, live happily ever after with you, but they're going to respect the fact that you give off and you exude that feeling of being attractive, and that becomes attractive to other people. And it's a fact. It's a fact. Okay. It does not matter how big, how it looks, really have nothing to do with it. Confidence is everything. Confidence is everything. So walk in that confidence and understand, when you walk in that confidence and you believe that you're attractive, the people around you are going to believe it too. Okay. What number am I on? I am on 7, I believe. Clinginess is concerning. When you are dating, remember you are dating. Okay. If there's no title on this, we're not going to put a title on this. We're not going to say that this is a situationship. Okay. We're not going to play games with our emotions like that. Okay. We're going to treat it like it is. It's dating. So that means you're not obligated to them. They're not obligated to you. If a man wants to pursue you, he will show you with consistency. And then you have the opportunity to reciprocate what he's giving you. But clinginess only pushes people away. Okay? He loves to see that you have your own life. Trust me, he does. He loves to see that you're busy sometimes and you don't have time to, always talk and always text because you have your own life. And that's attractive. Again, that's that mystery. That's that mystery to say, oh my gosh, what does it take to get her attention? Keep that. Do not become too clingy too fast. Number 8. If it doesn't flow, okay, let it go. If you are dating with somebody and it feels like you're forcing yourself to like this person, or you're forcing yourself to vibe with this person, major red flag. If it doesn't flow, let it go. There will always be another opportunity. There will always be somebody else who finds interest in you. Always. Remember that. Always. If it doesn't flow, let it go. Number 8, know that you are the prize, so be yourself. You are the prized possession. We're walking into this. Ladies, we have so much more control in these relationships than we really believe that we do.